Hello and welcome to this next video. My name is Christopher Hull from ChristopherHull.com, and today's video we're going to be looking at the Rectus Femoris stretch. This is a very common tight muscle when it comes to lordosis or an anterior pelvic tilt. Some of the things, all the hips tilted forwards, I could say. So yeah, what we're going to look at is, first of all, we're going to look at the muscle. So you can see here, this is on the left hand side, this is the rectus femoris muscle, so it's one of your quadriceps, and I want to say that it attaches both on the hip or on the pelvis at the front there, and it also attaches to the patellar tendon, and then it kind of goes all the way down across the knee as well. So this muscle crosses both the knee joint and the hip joint, so it helps in hip flexion and knee extension. So what we need to be able to do is we need to be able to pull these two attachments apart. So if we want to stretch that muscle, we want to pull these two attachments apart, and if you look to the right hand side, you can see a rectus femoris stretch. Now that's what a rectus femoris stretch needs to look like. Now, depending on how tight your rectus femoris is will depend on how far up you can get your leg. Now, if your rectus femoris isn't too bad, it's not the tightest, you might be able to get into a position like this with your foot up that high. Now, what you've got to watch, depending on how tight your rectus femoris is your hips flexing and your body sort of being pulled forwards. So what you want to be able to do when you go into the stretch is, first of all, do it with your foot flat on the floor and just see how that feels down the front of the leg. Then you want to pull, as is in this picture, you want to pull your heel towards your hips. Now, there's a variety of ways of doing it depending on how tight you are through rectus femoris. One of them is, obviously, if you're okay, you can grab onto it with your hand. If you're very tight there, you might want to wrap a towel around your shin and then pull that towards, pull your heel then towards your hip. But just making sure, the most important thing is keeping your body upright and your pelvis level and your hips level. You don't want your hips tilting forward and you don't want them tilting back. You want to keep them level whilst you're doing this stretch. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. My name's Christopher Hull from ChristopherHull.com. If you want to sort of contact me through the website, by all means you can. Just go up to the contact us tab, and I've got my email there, I've got my Facebook, and I've got my Twitter. So if you want to contact me through any of those, that's absolutely fine. If you live in Bristol and you want to contact me for a consultation, you want to sit down and talk about your low back pain, your lordosis, whatever it might be, we can sit down for an hour and go through it. That's if you live in Bristol or Bath or any surrounding areas, or you're willing to travel to Bristol anyway from wherever you are in the country. So yeah, thanks a lot. My name's Christopher Hull from ChristopherHull.com. I'll speak to you in the next video.